Hey guys, but yet again another change in our brand language, and I shot this video because I want you to understand why. For those of you that were not at the Monday morning meeting, and that is, I've never been comfortable with the way that we've spoken about this company, and have felt that the brand language actually represented what we truly do in a way that consumers can take that and go, aha, now I know what you do, and aha, yes, I see how we could work with you. Obviously, it had some internal issues too, between being division oriented and kind of creating a lack of maybe a sense of togetherness that I aim to create. So, in thinking about this, uh, I had been open for some time to try and figure out how to evolve it. And then aside from that, 2 weeks ago, when trying to pitch to the town of Tarboro, it made me really think about what it is that we do at Circumero and why the town of Tarboro is a good fit for us. The reality of that job was, sure, we need to build a website, but they don't have a marketing department. They really don't have any community content. They need to engage both the publishing side of what we do to create that community content and the web design that we do to make sure that we can execute on it online, deliver that content through a web experience. And it got me thinking about what it is that I've been most passionate about through all these years with Circumero, and really the bottom line is storytelling. I've always loved taking pictures from the fact I want to share that sense of place or whatever I was trying to capture with someone else. We started out um, as a travel publisher because of the fact I wanted to share the sense of place with other people to enjoy what we see in Jackson Hole. And when we built Locale, it was really built on that same premise, kind of a publishing platform to talk about the community, the sense of place, and that really was the distinguishing difference. Yes, we know how to build websites. The real differentiator was that we were leveraging our publishing knowledge at the same time to do both sides of the equation, build the content and deliver the website. And we've done that successfully really since the beginning. In 1995, when we formed the company, we were just in travel publishing. By 96, as the web was picking up, we were trying to be a company that worked in both web and print, which through the last 10 years, 12 years, we've done successfully. And I think the storytelling um, tagline that we've adopted and kind of concept that we're going to be working with going forward is very true to the company, and also is a point of which we can actually culturally build our service offering around, i.e., how can we tell better stories, whether we're trying to tell a better story for the client or a better story on the given locale or destination, to create a better experience for the reader, to hopefully create more engagement with the advertisers and the audience. But again, the real differentiator is the ability to tell the story and the ability to deliver that through whatever medium we're doing that within. So, the background is just simply the fact that I love to tell stories. We do that in the ways that we have been doing it, i.e., photo, video, online, and print. And going forward, we want to hang our hat around that concept that, hey, Mr. John Asadorian, you've got a great company. And you know what? Circumero loves to tell stories, and we'd like to tell yours. And so that kind of is the premise behind the storytelling concept. The changes in the identity that you'll see on the attached doc, the name of the company is now Circumero Media, media representing the fact that, yeah, we do a multitude of things, and who's to say tomorrow what else we might get into. So it's trying to position the consumer's mind that Circumero as an entity is in the media business. In particular, when we get to the company type or company descriptor, we explicitly say web design, publishing, and branding. That's really what we do. Branding's a little newer, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is to create engaging brand experiences through storytelling. So branding is very much a part of it, because if you're going to tell a story, you need to make sure the elements of that story actually represent something, i.e., a brand, and that the company that we're working with would be willing for us to actually help them in their branding exercise to ensure that when they take their story online, they can connect with consumers. So the first part that we start, is actually looking at the branding. From that, we can actually develop a story and then execute on it online, kind of in that order. So when we think of our company type, yeah, we want to build great websites. We want to create great publications, and we want to make sure that we're paying attention to the branding and the message all along, and that in essence, we are creating engaging brand experiences that tell stories. That's kind of the internal focus on it. That we're very brand focused to make sure that it's going to connect with the consumer, and that we connect in a storytelling environment. We've been telling stories since the beginning of mankind, and storytelling is the way that information has been passed from generation to generation. We can remember stories. We can't remember facts and figures, buzzwords, acronyms, industry terms. Those things go right over people's heads unless you happen to be working in that industry. So when we refer to things like best-in-class communication tools, well, what the heck does that mean? No one really knows. But when I say we do web design, publishing, and branding, hopefully they walk away with a clear understanding of what we do, and hopefully how they could work with us. So going forward, you can see the description here. The company description at large is really built for a more conversational tone. So after explaining what we do, we talk about the products and some of the clients that we work with to hopefully create kind of a further understanding of the work that we do. And that's very much how I would explain the company, of saying that we build websites for companies like Cloudveil and Eagle Creek. Maybe I mix that up if I know who they are and what companies in our portfolio they might know, and that we build travel and real estate publications. And so our description helps to key in on that. You'll notice the 50-word description at the bottom is a very succinct way to talk about us. That's how you would actually read about us in our chamber listing or at the bottom of a press release, where the tone is not conversational and where we might not want to be mentioning clients and actual publications. But it is a very succinct way to talk about Circum Arrow. Circum Arrow is a media company. We focus on web design, publishing, and branding. And that really, in a nutshell, is the way that you would explain this company in a cocktail party setting. If people are interested, they'll ask you more questions, and you can delve a little deeper, such as the company creates engaging brand experiences for our clients. Through the principle of storytelling, and that every company has a story, and we want to help them tell that. So this is really the tone that we're adopting going forward. The concept of storytelling will start to seep into all of our brand language and marketing materials, where it's appropriate to be putting that, and that no longer do we have 4 divisions at Circum Arrow. We don't have any divisions. We're one company that focuses on 3 core areas, being web design, publishing, and branding. As it relates for video and photography, those are services. So we have a lot of services at Circum Arrow, but we don't list them all in our company description because it would be way too long. And the reality is, over 90+% of our revenue is driven through 2 sectors, i.e. the web design we do for businesses and the publishing that we do. And that, you can't argue when you look at our income statement as to where the majority of our revenues are streaming from. So why have too large a video message or too large a stock photography message? It's not what we're hanging our hat on, but rather they're integral services as we sell our publishing and our web design. Video is front and center in that. Selling photos to go in that experience is front and center in that, and that we can work directly with clients on those service offerings. So that's how you think about what we are doing with video and photography. Obviously, video is a huge future for us. Stock photography has unfortunately become a commodity where you can pay $1 to get a royalty-free stock image online. Why are you going to pay us a premium for one of our images? It's unfortunately a dying industry, and we are scaling back our efforts along those fronts. So I hope I brought a little bit of an understanding as to why we've adopted new branding. Simply put, I've never been comfortable in the way that we've talked about our company. I'm pretty sure that most of you never could really reiterate that as it was written in a consistent way. And I think it's pretty simple to be able to state Circum Arrow Media, offers web design, publishing, and branding. So I don't think there's any lack of confusion in all of us being able to say that. We're going to have a lot more exercises on this front. This is obviously something we've got to drill into our culture and to assure that all of our touch points, website, phone messages, signatures, stationery, thank you cards, reflect this too. So that process will take a couple of weeks to get going. Please help us identify areas where you see old descriptions so that we can get them updated. And of course, I always welcome your feedback. Thanks, everyone.